Alright, hello everyone. So let's do another case study. Actually, let's do a follow-up on the case study that I did for gold, right? And the reason I want to do gold is because, as you know, I trade that more often than not, or more than anything else. So let's do it. Now remember, we had Monday and Tuesday swing days for this. And I did say because the market came down, I'd like to see where we can go back up. And Monday or Tuesday were both legit. Okay, so all we had to do was just basically trade on those days. And euro dollar and the indices were further on down the line. So the only thing we had was Monday, Tuesday gold, and Wednesday for Bitcoin. So Monday the market went up a little bit and then sold off into Tuesday. And on Tuesday, as you know, let's see, we had these hours. Now remember, these are UTC plus 3 hours, and the platform is an hour behind. So on Tuesday, what we're looking for, right? On Tuesday, we're looking to go long on the lows, right? Let's take it into Tuesday. So this is the Tuesday. And remember, we had that 3,939 PST level. 3,939 PST level is there. I think it was 3,939. It was somewhere there in any case. And the trading hours were 11:25 to 12:25, 2:25, and I did say be careful as it may turn or continue to the hours of 9:40 to closing. Right, so if we take a look, it's going to be 13 on Tuesday. It's going to be 13:35 here because the platform is an hour behind, and going into 9:40 is going to be 8:40, which is there, and closing is pretty much here. And as you know, this was the trading hour, so I had to go long on this zone here. And yesterday was Wednesday, so the market went up nice and easy, no dramas. We closed part of the position, the other half is running. And today, I did say we should still be going up. Now, according to what I calculated, so Wednesday, market just going to the upside, so we're following that through. And on Thursday, which is today now, I did say these are the hours, and that if there is a direction, it should push, and some sudden moves should occur, and target should be 810, 850. The market can still move on or hang around close by or until closing. All right, so today I did say we might have a flow day. Okay, so if we take a look at the trade hours, I'm just going to put this there a little bit and then put these in. So we had 10:30 to 11:25, which is 9:30 on the platform. So this is 9:30 there. All right, so 9:30 there. And then 11:25 is going to be 10:25 here, which is going to be that bar, I'm thinking. 9:25. Sorry, 11:25 is going to be 10:25 on that bar. It's a 15-minute chart, remember. And then we've got 1:30 being 12:30 on the platform, and that is right there. Okay, and that's your 12:30. Now it's a little tricky here, but I thought adding a position doesn't look too bad here, so I did enter again after a trading hour. Since our bias is to the upside, we can add a position. Obviously, because I'm entering afterwards, like after the main low, okay, here I've got a target to cover, and let's see, I've got targets up ahead. All right, there are 3 positions open, 2 on this one. Now normally what do? Let's add in the other hours as well. which is going to be 5 o'clock, 10 past 5 actually. Here, what else did I say? And 5:50, so that's going to be 4:50 here. So 4:15 and 4:50. All right, so this is the zone. Now, two things can happen here. All right, we're either going to dip down into here or we're going to flow into there. And because that was like a nice kind of a U-turn around here, I said not a bad idea to get in. Obviously, if you're scalping the market, this would have already been a good scalp to get in and get out. And what you could do with a situation like this is use a 1 bar stop loss, right? Remember, we have 1 bar stop losses, but because I'm thinking to the upside, if things go in my favor, we should end up at these red dotted lines here, 4,088, 4,120, I think that is, or is it 4,088, slightly higher as well, 4,103, and then 4,145. Now here on the LCL1 line, I got 4,058. So going in that direction is what we'd like to do to push to the upside. Okay, so I put the stop loss a little bit far because I want to make sure I can take in more profit, but I also don't want to be losing out on the money I made already on this one. So I'll put the stop loss for this up into that zone as well. So if it does dip down, we're still going to be in the money to the upside. This is London, all right, London pre-trading session. So London pushing it to the upside. It's a good sign that we've got room to go, and also we're above the weekly pivot, so I want to make sure the stop loss is below the weekly plus the high of yesterday in case it wants to come back, fill in the gaps, and then go up. All right, so basically that. And because I've added a position in between levels, made sure it's not as high as, you know, a U-turn from the lows, like I said. So when you're trading in between levels, what you can do is basically just use a smaller lot size. You can also have a tighter stop loss if you're going to be trading intraday, or if you're trading the New York session, like waiting for the hours at New York session are not a bad idea at all, because they do come back and retrace and trade. So looking out for these hours is going to be good. If we have direction from here, like let's say the market came and chucked a UE, then you can follow that into 8:50 my time, which is going to be 7:50 on the platform, all right, which is going to be on that bias, a 15-minute chart, so that's your 7:45, all right. And then the market should be either hanging around or still giving us a push into 11 o'clock, which is going to be around 10 o'clock on the platform, right? 10 to 10:30 on the platform, 11 to 11:30 my time, all right. So that's the kind of rhythm we want to follow up. And if things get a little shady, like I said, it's not going to be a big loss. We've already taken partial profit. This is going to end up in profit as well, even if things go pear-shaped. The important thing here is this: understanding the swing days and how getting in early can really make a lot of difference in your edge, and also obviously having these PST levels up ahead in front of us is going to give us the targeting. And these red dotted lines here as well, they're going to be targets too. So if we push up there, it's going to give us like 1 to 10, you know, 1 to, well, the second one will give us like 1 to 7. Okay, with respect to risk return here, this one will be like 1 to 5, but this is already like, this was already like 1 to 10. All right, so risking something like $150 to get 1,500 on there. It looks like a bit of a swing trading, but you could also trade this on a daily basis, like an intraday trader or a day trader. Why? Because you got the hours in place, and once you caught that from the lows on a swing day, then it's a bingo trade. Also, look, remember I did a video on this before, and I did say Monday was also a swing day and my bias was to the upside. Okay, so when I did buy on the Monday, remember, I made some money, the trade got covered, and then it got stopped out here in Asia. No loss of love, not a problem, because I said Monday or Tuesday. This is why it's important to check out the swing days. And let's make this a little bigger, right? Monday or Tuesday. And also what you want to be looking out for this week is checking out what's going to happen next week. All right, when are the swing days happening next week? Why? Because where we end up on Friday, oh dear me, is going to be important for next week as well. Okay, our attitude towards the market next week. So seeing, okay, on Monday, making a bit of a profit on that, getting stopped out on the second position. Still, like I said, no loss of love there. The market worked in our favor, is okay, no dramas. And then on Tuesday, just buying the low and forgetting about it, just letting it run. Okay, and today I just, like I said, added a position because add-ons are okay, it's good. Sometimes you can miss a swing day, but what you can do on the next day, a retracement can be a good opportunity to add on to your trade, right? So if it comes back in New York and you want to add on, that's going to be a high probability successful trade. Okay, and despite the fact that we're going against the trade, knowing the swing days and the trading hours in advance, and we've got pricing as well, like the PST pricing, then makes life much more easier and very, very less risky. Okay, so we'll see how this pans out, and I will also be looking at the New York session today to see if there's an opportunity for me to add on as well again. All right, so